So this is some video shot on Ross's third day of full day flying. The evening before I had a short flight on his new wing which had arrived. It was a second hand wing, there was a small repair to be done to it, so I did some test flying. And then just as the moon was rising, sun was setting, we got an evening flight fairly close to this on another site. It's actually over the back of the hills. The key thing here, as Ross has already discovered, is you've got to fly efficiently. So if you start adding in brakes, you're going to land here. The temptation is always this braking. There's enough lift, you got past it, but really you want a lot less than that. Hands and treacle, so when you're moving your hands it's just very slow, small movements, mainly the lean. He's been flying earlier, Ben's already arrived and is up in the air. So this is Ross really getting used to flying with another pilot in the sky. We've also done a tandem flight round here earlier on, so it's not as if he's coming round to have a in-air view for the first time of this hill. A couple of tasks which we didn't manage this day, but he had a good attempt at, was big ears. It's just one of these things that needs a bit of confidence. On later flights he was doing 360s when he was well out from the hill, and on the last flight of the day did a 720 to burn some height and then down to land. One of the big advantages of having students flying with either myself or other experienced club members in the sky is it really gets the point through that they've got to get used from the early days, right from their first flights, to constantly be thinking about checking the airspace. Where are other gliders? And if there is actually somebody else in the sky with you, you've got the incentive to keep checking. So it's not particularly cross, but there is a slight crosswind component. So depending where you are, particularly when you're lower, closer to the hill, you've got quite a headwind beat this, and when you're coming back you've got the faster downwind beat. Once you get above the hilltop though, you find that because of the changing airflow here, it's less so. It does give a certain amount of lift round on the nose of this hill, where the field boundaries are. So it doesn't show up particularly well on the audio with the wind noise on the helmet cam. It's constant talking through, reassuring, re-emphasising the controls. So the main thing there is much more lean in the harness would help, and a bit less brake. But with new students it's very difficult for them to really get comfortable with leaning right outside the riser to get that smooth and efficient turn. But I've got to say he's overall doing very well. I think the longest flight this day was over half an hour. When you're looking at these videos, the thing you have to remember is that the peripheral vision of the pilot is actually much wider than the vision you get with the camera. So overall I was very pleased about the amount he was looking around. As you can probably see here, we're not seeing the risers a great deal, so as is normal, one of the issues is trying to get the students in a much better position than the harness, much more back. Effectively gives them more suspension travel, and it gives them more information from the wing and more control of the wing. It also tends to be a lot less tiring when you're doing flights that last an hour plus, because you don't have the same strain on the stomach muscles. And again, some nice checks there, good checks of the airspace. And bringing it round. That's what you want to see. And say once again, the main point is you really want to be getting the head outside the risers, leaning round, so you're warping the wing. Much more efficient turn. It was nice lift that day though. With a bit of an inversion layer as forecast on the F214, and the overall cloud level wasn't too punchy. So just some nice workable ridge lift and some residual heat in the fields.